Hello, Facebook land. It is so cold and snowy tonight, and I wanted to do a video for you guys. So let's talk about relationships. If you don't know me, I am Brooke Mackey Jones. I'm a coach, spiritual facilitator, a life alchemist, an energy witch, a mom, kitchen witch, lots of stuff. If you're tuning in, I'm doing this via StreamYard. So if you want to comment, you'll have to log in. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and dive in. I have an analogy for you guys. Relationship analogy. Are you ready for it? Dun, dun, dun. This is an equine analogy. So what do donkeys, zebras, and unicorns all have in common? Find out. Okay. So this is an analogy, and I want to be really direct about this is an analogy. Okay. The following conversation is about romantic relationships. The characters that we're going to talk about, they're not bad or wrong. They simply have a way of being around you. They might actually be an entirely different person around someone else. Okay, so we're talking about your relationship with someone. This analogy is just a tool to help you identify who might be in your circle. So I'm certainly by no means calling anyone names or anything like that. I just think that the animal kingdom and using an analogy is a really effective way to break things down so they're easier to understand. Okay, so with your permission, I'm going to go ahead and move on. The first kind of character that you might be in a relationship with is a zebra. Look at them standing there all flashy with their stripes. Now, zebras are interesting characters. They live in a herd, but they're not herd animals. They actually really don't like anybody else, so they'll bite and they'll kick everyone. If you try to break them and saddle them, it's not at all like that cute movie Racing Stripes. A zebra will maybe let you ride it, but will for sure, when you're not looking, turn around and bite you or throw you off at the first possible moment. Zebras hide their stripes. What do I mean by that? I mean, a zebra will stand in a herd of other zebras, and they actually use their stripes to blend in and to hide. It's an optical illusion. Their flashy stripes manipulate the brain of the predator into thinking that the herd is moving one way, when really the herd is moving the other way. It's this weird optical illusion that it's kind of like when a car is driving really fast and you see the wheels, but they look like they're spinning the opposite direction. This is the same thing. So zebras, they're manipulative. They're an optical illusion. You never know which way they're going. You never know what to expect. They have stripes. They're always going to have stripes. Okay. They are unpredictable and wild. They're wild animals. If a zebra is in your life and they show you that they have stripes and they tell you that they have stripes, please stop trying to repaint them. You cannot heal them. You cannot fix them. You cannot make them less zebra-like. And if you are a unicorn, and likely you are because you're on my page, you will never get to have your unicorn reality if you're trying to fit into a zebra world. Okay? All right. Next category. You might be in a relationship with a wild horse. Pretty beautiful, aren't they? They're beautiful. They're even majestic creatures. They love to run wild and free. They don't like to be caged down. They don't like to be tied up in a relationship. They can be broken, meaning you can learn to domesticate them somewhat, But the moment that you turn your back, they're going to go back to their wild ways. They're a wild horse. They're literally always looking for a hole in the fence. They'll find any way to get out. And no matter what you do, wild horses are still wild. So a zebra, if you were in a relationship with a zebra, those people tend to have narcissistic tendencies kind of on the high end, okay? A wild horse is the kind of relationship that, like, you go out of town and you can't trust that they're going to stay in their pen and be committed and devoted to you. They're wild. They're off wherever they feel like being, okay? Nothing wrong with a wild horse. If you yourself are a wild horse, be upfront with people about that when you get into a relationship with them. If you're willing to have a conversation, you can have a relationship that works for you, okay? But a wild horse with someone that really wants steady commitment isn't going to work out too well. Okay, next category. I had to post this picture. I found this picture with the horse in the suit and it was too cute. Next category, you have a horse. And I love horses. Horses are awesome. They're beautiful. They are hierarchical herd animals, meaning they live in a herd, and within the herd, there's always an alpha. There's always someone at the top, someone in power. And then there's a beta. And eventually there's one that's always at the bottom of the totem pole. They will listen to you, and they can be trained and ridden, but really only when they want to be. And in order to do that, you actually have to use a bit and a lead, like a halter. You have to put a saddle on them. Of course, there's some exceptions. Some people ride horses bareback, but for the most part, this is what's required. They usually don't hurt other species, but horses won't help other species either. There are some animals, and we're going to talk about it here in just a minute, that if a mountain lion came into your pen at your ranch, they would fight off the mountain lion. A horse is just going to go protect itself and get out of there, okay? They don't have an instinct to protect others. And when you take the bit and the saddle off, when you take the suit off this horse, it's still a horse, okay? So it still wants to have that alpha, beta, hierarchical relationship. And they're a horse. They want to be out. They want to be free, okay? Then we have a donkey. Now, Brooke, what's the significance of a donkey? And why would I want to be in relationship with a donkey? Now, donkeys kind of have a weird reputation because they can come across as stubborn sometimes, and we're going to talk about that. Why a donkey? Well, donkeys are the longest domesticated animal on the planet. Humans have been using donkeys for tens of thousands of years. And so we've created an interesting relationship, and a donkey is an interesting creature. Number one, donkeys see eye to eye. Donkeys see themselves on a level playing field. There's none of this like alpha beta bullshit, like I've got to prove myself. A horse is kind of, you'll have horses that are arrogant or cocky. A donkey is confident. So what's the difference between confidence and arrogance? Arrogance is walking into a room and thinking I'm better than everyone else. Confidence is walking into a room and knowing nobody's better than me. We're equal. So donkeys are like this. They can see eye to eye. Number two, donkeys are equally yoked. So a yoke is a wood device that goes around a draft animal's neck, and it would go around one donkey and then the animal next to it. And the donkey is really interesting. The donkey will let you put it next to another donkey or a horse or whatever, an ox, whatever needs to happen to get the job done. The donkey's cool with it. They also have a tendency to want to protect other donkeys and other species. So if you had a mountain lion come into your herd of sheep, the donkey will actually valiantly protect the sheep by killing the mountain lion. They're that brave and courageous and protective. Donkeys work with joy. They will complete the most menial and redundant of tasks with joy. And they don't care. I've had some horses growing up that were kind of picky. They kind of had an attitude. They were particular. A donkey is not particular. A donkey will help you carry your kid today and your water tomorrow and the wood to build your house on Wednesday. And they work with joy. They're just happy to show up and do the job. Okay. So you could see how all of these things would be really beneficial in a partnership, especially if you're a magical unicorn and you're wanting to go create your epic, fantastic, magical life. Having a donkey along for the ride to help support you, someone that, does these things, is going to be a safe space and a support for you to go out into the world and be who you are. Number 6, donkeys are super duper strong. They can carry a significant amount of weight. This is important. If you're going to choose a partner to be with in your life, you want someone that is strong, spiritually strong, emotionally strong, mentally strong, physically healthy. If your partner has those characteristics, when the storms of life inevitably come through, they're going to have this strength to stand by your side and help you move through it. Okay? Donkeys have a great sense of self-preservation. They're like kind of the ultimate self-care animal. A horse, if a horse is spooked, a horse will run itself right off a cliff without even thinking about it. They will just accidentally harm themselves. They'll run into barbed wire fences. They'll get themselves all cut up. A donkey would never do anything like that. A donkey understands that I'm useful and I'm valuable and I'm needed, and I'm going to take care of me so that way I can keep showing up to take care of everything around me that matters. A donkey actually avoids danger, and they get that reputation of being stubborn because of this, because a donkey will be working and then they'll just stop working when they get too tired. They won't push themselves beyond the brink because they want to be able to show up for you tomorrow and the next day. Donkeys are healthy. If you look at the lifespan of a horse, horses live, we've had them live 20 to 30 years. 30 is really old. 25, the horse is like maybe an old trail horse, but and you can't use them until they're 3 or 4. So you actually have a short period of time that a horse is usable and healthy. But a donkey, just by their very nature, by their genealogy, by their genetics, they're healthy. They have a 40-year lifespan. And they're useful from the time they're young, 1 or 2, until the end of their life. Donkeys are loyal for the long term. And by loyal, I mean loyal to the cause, loyal to who they are, loyal to all of these other characteristics. They know who they are and they just are who they are. They never stop being a donkey. You could go out of town And the donkey is still going to be a donkey and is still going to protect your herd. They don't stop being who they are. They don't shift into something that you don't recognize. Donkeys are loyal, they're protective, they're strong, and they're steady. So, why does this matter? I just invite you to look at what do you currently have in your life? Who do you currently have in your life? Do you maybe have some zebras that are running around and biting and kicking you, that are lying to you about their stripes, that are saying they're going one way, but really going another, that are manipulating you? Does that work for your unicorn life? What would you like to have in your life? Who would you like to have in your life? What kind of characteristics would actually make your relationships workable? If you had different types of people in your life, what would that create? So if you could maybe get some space from that zebra and work on yourself and find some care and some love for you and call in a donkey, what would that create for your life? Because here's the deal. There are people on the planet right now that you haven't even met yet that are going to love you. And so if you have people in your life that are zebras or, wild horses, but that's not what you're looking for, then maybe it's time to take a step back and just evaluate what would actually work for me. What would actually light me up? What would actually help support and fulfill my life? And then also taking a look at, am I willing to show up in that same space in return? Okay. Anywho, take a look at all of this for yourself in your life and determine, am I in a relationship or is this relation shit? And can I clear some of that out? I hope everybody has a great night and I'll catch you guys soon. Have a good one.